You ever notice how some students barely look stressed? They don't pull all-nighters, they don't brag about studying 10 hours a day, and somehow, they still crush exams. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Top students are not working harder than you. They're doing something different, and almost no one talks about it because it sounds too simple. Let me start with a quick story. In my first year, I did everything right. Color-coded notes, motivational playlists, 5-hour study sessions that ended with me staring at the wall, wondering why my brain felt fried. Meanwhile, this one guy in my class studied for like 90 minutes, closed his laptop, went home, and topped the class. I finally asked him, "What's your secret?" He laughed and said, "I don't study to learn, I study to test." That sentence messed with my head because the study method top students use isn't about reading more. It's not about focus hacks. It's not even about discipline. It's about forcing your brain to struggle on purpose. And once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Here's what most people do when they study. They reread notes, they highlight lines, they watch the same lecture again at 1.25x speed and tell themselves, "Yeah, I get this." That feeling, that little confidence boost, it's a lie. Your brain loves recognition. Exams require recall. Top students design their study sessions around recall, but not in the way you think. They use something called active retrieval with delayed feedback. Sounds fancy. It's not. Here's the real version. Step 1, you close everything. Notes, slides, Google, all of it. Step 2, you ask your brain a question it's not ready for. What are the 3 causes of X? Explain this concept like I'm teaching it. Write everything I remember about this topic. You will feel stupid. That's the point. This is the moment most people quit because it feels uncomfortable, messy, slow. But this discomfort is literally your brain rewiring. Here's the cliffhanger most students never realize. The struggle is the learning. When you fail to recall something, your brain tags it as important. When you then check the answer after struggling, the memory sticks harder. That's why rereading feels productive but doesn't work, and why top students look calm during exams. They've already failed in private. Let me make this super practical. Instead of, "I'll study chapter 4 tonight," top students say, "I'll test myself on chapter 4 tonight." They set a 25-minute timer, no music, no distractions. They dump everything they remember onto a page. Bullet points, messy explanations, half-correct ideas. Then, and only then, they check their notes, not to reread, but to compare. What did I miss? What did I misunderstand? What surprised me? That feedback loop is gold. Now here's where it gets interesting. They don't fix everything immediately. This is where creators fail consistency, where students burn out. Instead of grinding longer, top students leave gaps. They walk away. Because your brain finishes the work when you're not looking. That's why they can study less and remember more. And yes, this works even if you procrastinate. Let's talk about that. If you're the type who waits until the night before, this method actually saves you because one brutal recall session beats 6 hours of passive panic. But there's a twist most people miss. Top students don't just test once. They revisit the same questions days later, briefly, lightly, 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there. This spacing tells your brain, hey, this keeps coming back, don't delete it. That's the secret. Not motivation, not willpower, not aesthetic notes, just repeated, uncomfortable recall. Now imagine applying this beyond school. Creators who stay consistent, they don't wait for inspiration. They ship, review, adjust. Gym progress, stress, recover, repeat.
Burnout happens when you're always consuming and never challenging. And here's the biggest mindset shift. Studying isn't about feeling smart, it's about training. Top students aren't confident because they're gifted, They're confident because they've already faced confusion and survived it. So tonight, try this. Pick one topic, set 25 minutes, close everything, struggle, fail, check, walk away. Do that 3 times this week. I promise you'll feel different. Not magically smarter, but calmer, clearer, like you're finally playing the right game. If this helped you, don't save it for later. Later never comes. Try this tonight and let's level up together.